Jason Goodman went into the weekend a non-believer. 30% there's a God, 70% there's not a God. That's how he lives his life.
How he does it.
By percentages.
Yes, that's true.
As of today, based on recent events, he's 70% there is a God, 30% there's not.
Well,
Wow.
I like to. Well, don't get excited, Katie.
Well, I am. This
That's
is
a
great
big change.
news.
I like to refer to that there is something there.
Okay.
Not
Sure.
I don't know for sure,
A higher power.
Right.
Okay.
Uh-huh.
but I got goosebumps and my hair like stood straight up when this person was telling me the story. And of course, at first I didn't believe anything, so I wanted the proof.
Uh-huh.
But I was talking to one of my friend's moms. I happened to be over their house, and I was dropping off something and whatnot. And she was telling me, because she's religious.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, I'm agnostic, not religious, but I respect that. And she's like, well, this is something crazy that happened. And she said, during a trip that I reunited with a friend, we went to West Virginia, and that's where my dad's from. And I was looking over a bridge, and I had somebody take a photo of us, and I was like, this is so great because my dad, this is where he lives, this is where he's from, and they were standing right there, and then she was just like, Dad, and she was kind of like trying to talk to her. I guess her dad kind of
And the dad's passed away.
how do religious people do it?
Well, you can definitely talk. You have your private
Yeah.
moments
Right.
and thoughts and prayer.
And she just felt surreal.
yeah.
The person took a photo, and there, after they took the photo, if you look at it, there is literally a beam of light that goes straight down. Now, of course, that could be anything. So
Like
I'm
over her.
Over
Right
her,
over her.
on
Right.
her.
Yeah.
right on her. So I'm like, okay, well, light can do that. Hello.
So
Yeah.
Jason's like, well, if you hold your camera a certain way into the sun.
He's like,
Right.
I've seen Photoshop.
Okay. So
Okay.
then she went to another area,
Mhm.
and she basically was far away, and there was a mountain in the back in West Virginia, and where the property is located where her dad lived, she took another photo,
Mhm.
and right where the property lived, there's a beam that looks like it's coming down from the sky, like heaven, going down right over where the property would be just about.
Where her dad used to live.
Yes. So I'm like, okay, well, what's
Okay.
wrong with her camera?
Clearly something.
Did Jared send this woman to talk to me?
I did.
Right.
So
Show him these photos.
they decided to go visit the house that her dad and them lived in,
Mm-hmm.
and her friend took a photo of the house, and the same beam is shooting down from the sky, going right through the house. You can see it. I just showed you the photos. Did you see that?
Wow,
Did you
Yes.
get this one?
Yes.
The photos to me are
Yes.
incredible.
So it's like, okay, something's odd here. So not recent, but a few years ago, one of her sons got married, and she was like, oh, I wish, my dad could see this to be here, and blah, blah, blah. And this is some time after, and she's like, it would be so great if anything.
Mm-hmm.
She took a photo. This was a wedding photographer. She took a photo of all her sons,
Mm-hmm.
and the son that got married has the same beam coming down. You see it in the photo
Holy
from the sky.
moly.
Yeah.
You
Yes,
see
I
the
do.
beam?
I
Yes.
do.
Yeah.
It's
I
crazy.
do.
And this is a different camera.
Wow.
So this is the third different camera?
And the beam, this is the second one.
Second different. Okay.
The beam is very similar to all the beams, if you notice something.
Yeah,
Yes.
it is very similar.
And it's very eerie almost that it's just so, it's right over that one son. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys. Okay, so these aren't all her sons, but this is, okay, it's the what do you call it?
The wedding party.
Yeah, the wedding party.
Mhm.
Just that one son has the beam, which is really remarkable. But now there's another photo that I just had to tell you to take down.
Yeah, I'm working on that.
I asked permission
I'm
for it.
working
and
on
all- Anyway,
Yeah.
the other photo she took, this was not, she didn't take this, I'm sorry. There was another wedding or type of
Like an event,
an
like
event,
formal. Yeah.
and another photographer took a photo of her other son and his wife, and there's another beam. This time it's angled, and the beam is shining on her stomach.
Oh.
And she didn't know at the time, but when she saw this photo, she's like, I can't believe this beam. I said, I wonder if that's saying that she's pregnant. I guess she called up her son and asked, are you having a baby? And she's like, how did you know that? We weren't going to tell you.
Wow.
And the beam, another beam with another camera, is shining from the sky right at her stomach.
Holy moly.
Wow.
My goosebumps popped out of my skin.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what is the explanation for that?
God.
Is that what you think?
Yes.
That's what she thinks.
That's what I think.
I mean, it is
Start
crazy.
the water.
Ladies and gentlemen,
We have a
members of the
baptism today.
congregation.
Warm up the tub.
We got an agnostic in the midst.
The photo, unfortunately, that we can't post. The one with the, but all the other ones
Which
is the
has been
same
posted,
thing.
but we're going to take it down.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm working on it. I can't do that and pay attention at the same time.
But it's remarkable because this beam is, I mean, one of the beams looks like it's coming from heaven, for crying out loud. You're on a big West Virginia mountain, basically, and you see this huge beam pointing down, and then you see it at the house, you see it on the actual person, you see it on her son, you see it on her, you see it, another beam coming to...
And they were all different cameras, all different photographers.
There was several cameras, different photographers, and different asked. Like, one time she said, I wish I could just have a sign that my father knows that I'm here or something. And boom, they took the picture, and a beam is shining down on her.
Yeah, that one is, I mean, it's, you can't even like really even see the lady. The beam is so bright and just on her. It doesn't even go to the other lady that she's in the picture with.
And this is a clear as day beam, is bright, coming right down from the, and very similar in all the photos. And these are different cameras, different times, different photos. And all the times when she's like kind of asking about her dad, and I wish my dad could see my son get married, and they take the photo and there's a beam coming down.
That is like fascinating. If you want to see these photos, it's on our social media right now, or at least our Facebook page, right?
Well, she's got it. Katie's trying to adjust.
It's there, but she has to take one out.
One of the photos though is going to be missing, which is the pregnancy one, and I thought that was just shocking.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Like on her stomach, and then they're like, "Hey, anything? How'd you know we were pregnant?" I'm like, "Oh."
And no,
Dad told me.
Yeah, she says this is a sign from God. That's what she thinks.
I think so. I think it's definitely a sign for sure.
It makes you think that there's something from an agnostic point of view. That's what I am. I don't.
Not today.
Well, I lean a little bit more that something's definitely out there. Like, how is this possible?
Yes.
And the stories around it is just like, it's the most. How about this? It's the most evidence I've ever seen in my entire life that something actually may be out there spiritual.
Wow.
Brother Goodman,
Let's get them.
come on down. Come on down to
Now's
the
the
wall.
time.
Yeah. It's
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints.
The missionaries are on the way. They're heading your way. I got your address.
I better get my act together.
Hey, we're all works in progress.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, sometimes we're stalled
Wow.
out.
Now I'm going to
Yeah.
take that time I went to church and it says Jesus forgives all sins. I'm going to hold him to that.
I want that
All
one.
right. I get you.
Hey, Jason, by the way, when you're baptized, that single act washes away all of your sins for your whole life.
Yeah, let's not get carried away.
Now, they might have,
Well,
they might have to dunk you a couple
Baby
times
steps, baby steps.
to get them all. But no, but I'm serious.
maybe hold them
It's like
under for a
acid, it's
second.
burning water.
Waterboard him a little bit.
Sometimes you got to shampoo twice.
Yeah.
Jason's going to wait till he's on his deathbed. He's like, bring on the baptism. And he'll go in as the most perfect man to die,
That's it.
Yeah.
besides the good
Yeah.
Lord himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
That is fascinating.
Yeah, I was, I tell you, my hair stood up on the back of my neck. I had goosebumps the way she was saying it, and she was just so positive about it, and the stories she was
Yeah.
telling about it. I probably messed up part of the story, but it is pretty amazing.
Whatever gets you there, man. That's what I say.
Absolutely.
What do you think, Katie?
Yes,
are
I
you
absolutely.
truly amazed?
I am truly amazed. I love when things like this happen. I know some people, I just am new to this phrase, but God winks. I never had heard of that before. I just would always use the word coincidence or, a sign or my faith or whatever. But yes, I believe in signs everywhere. That God is there, or people are talking to us and letting us know that they're okay and that we're going to be okay. I believe in all of that.
And I even said to her, I said, "Is something?" I took her phone and took a photo to see if the beam. There's no beam.
The beam filter?
Yeah.
No, I mean, and then I've known people that are very credible people that have had people pass on, and they've had either they've seen them like at the funeral, like seen them. It wasn't like they were delusional. They're like in very detailed, or they've had very vivid dreams where things were told to them that there's no way they would have known, type of thing, or just different types of things. So yeah.
Yeah.
What do you think, Squid? Do you see the photos?
Yeah, I think the last one is what got me. The sunlight on her stomach. That part's crazy. Because at first I'm like, I was kind of like you, like, okay, it's just the camera, the lens,
That's
whatever,
the one we have
over
to
and
delete,
over.
I know.
Yeah, but that
maybe
one,
make a
that
note
one's
that
different. Yeah, that
one's
one.
Matt, what do you think?
Solidifies it.
100%. I've experienced stuff like this too.
Do you think that's God, or you just think
I absolutely think it's a higher power. I think it's
Higher
God.
power.
Absolutely.
okay?
Now, Matt, you said if you want to share what things have happened.
When my dad passed away, I was going to speak at the funeral, and I was extremely nervous to speak at the funeral. And I was in the car reading over my speech, trying to figure out, is this good enough? Does this do him, does this give him the credibility that I would want him to have at his funeral? And as I was thinking about that, and I put the speech down, I looked to my right, and running alongside our car on the highway was a deer. And my dad was a big-time hunter.
Oh.
And so this deer ran beside our car for 2.5 miles on the highway before it dipped off into the woods.
That's odd.
Like to just say, like,
Hey.
you're doing me justice. You're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard things like that where I think
beautiful.
we had somebody used to work here that was really big into ladybugs.
Yes.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
yep.
Just and she'd put like ladybug stickers everywhere.
Everywhere.
But I believe she had a parent or someone who
was her
passed
dad.
away. Yeah.
It was her dad. Yeah.
And then ladybugs
Mhm.
like appeared at a certain time where there would not be ladybugs, and it was kind of say, "Hey,
Yeah.
I got you. I'm here."
I still send her pictures of ladybugs sometimes. Not that I believe it's her dad saying anything to me.
Yeah, sure.
But I'll send it to her, and she always says to me that she received that photo, and it's like maybe once or twice a year. Not very
Right.
often. She'll say, "I really needed that today." And
Aw.
I just think that that's a nice. It's a very reassuring thing. I find it a lot in nature.
Yeah.
Certain things like butterflies. I think specifically to me and,
And
my
that makes
family.
you feel good?
Yes, it does.
Because this
I
does
do.
not make me feel good.
Why?
These photos.
Why?
Because I'm thinking about all the things that I've done during my life, and all of a sudden it could be a God out there.
He's the one human being who can take
Right.
a moving, beautiful moment.
It is
and be
beautiful,
scared.
but now I have to
Change
shape
your life.
up a little bit.
I got to get better.
Yeah,
Just in case now.
Why don't you just appreciate it for what it is and like a moment of enlightenment, if you will?
They
Yeah.
just slowly work on refining
Yeah, it
themselves.
doesn't have to.
Yeah.
You don't have to change everything in 1 minute.
Yeah.
I still have big problems with it.
Okay.
I have big problems with it because I don't necessarily believe that everybody's interpretation is right about what is out there. The only thing I got from this is, there really may be a higher power out
Why
there.
do you have to worry about what everybody else's interpretations are?
find
What does
out
it
what
feel
works
to
for you.
you?
Because I can't. It's hard to have faith when you have all these different religions, and whether it's God, whether it's Jesus Christ, whether it's all these different religions and the interpretations, and it can be radically different at times. So which one's right?
But no, I don't think. I think they're all right in their own way.
The
You
Church
just-
of Jesus Christ of Latter-day
See if I
Saints.
can put a plug in for them.
I think they're all right.
How about Katie send over a priest
Sure.
and answer some of your questions?
No,
I can send a deacon. I know one
Send a deacon.
personally.
I don't even know what that is.
A deacon. I can send one.
Send some missionaries over.
Mm-hmm.
We have sister missionaries in our ward now, so you probably like
No,
that
thank
better.
you. No.
No.
All right. And Matt, he's sending one of his internet preacher buddies over.
Yeah, Conan O'Brien.
And Squid's mom.
Squid's mom can
Squid's
come
mom's
over.
a preacher.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah.
And my mom had to do her dad's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
She was, I guess, the pastor preacher for it, and she was similar thing like Matt was saying. She was very nervous before she was the day of that morning. She woke up reading over her stuff, and right outside of her door in our house, she has like these metal angel wings like on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And said like she was really nervous, looking down at her notes, and looked up and she saw my grandpa, and he was like his age when she was a child, and he was like just smiling at her and said like she just had like this overwhelming warming comfort, and then said she was able to do the
Yeah.
I have heard that as well, is that people who die when they're older,
Mm-hmm.
like in heaven or whatever you want to call it, they're at like a perfect age.
Oh.
Which for
Mhm.
Jason would be under 25, but but like they're not. They see them like you've heard stories of people who've had like near-death experiences, and it'll be like a kid. And it's like I saw a grandpa who they've never met, and they're like, well, what did he look like? And they describe him like, well, he didn't look like that. And then they go back and look at old photos. Like, no, he looked like that.
He did.
Mhm.
When he was like 25. Like, no, the kid's never seen the photo. That story's been told by many different people time and time again.
Mm-hmm.
That there's the younger version of you, which also should give you more hope, Jason.
There you go.
You and Carol could be 25 forever.
Well, I started processing this. I called up Jared because when anything to do with religion, I immediately think I gotta get the Jared test to see if this passes of some kind of higher power. And after processing it throughout the day yesterday, I start going down the road of well, maybe this is some kind of energy that we don't know of, and it's not God, and it's not this, and that's what my
Okay.
mind thinks. But
Mm-hmm.
it is very odd. the whole
Whatever you can
thing.
do so you don't have to change your life. I got it.
It's just energy.
You're protecting yourself. I
Right.
get it. Tim, you have something to say about getting a sign from above?
Yeah, and I'm not this guy that does this on a radio station. Listen to you guys every day, but I don't ever call nobody like this. But my mom in 1994 had cancer, and she passed away. But I had to make arrangements. My dad couldn't do it, and so I was making arrangements. Had the funeral home lined up and everything. And so that morning, I had a sales call with my boss, and he wanted me to go with him. So I went, and we was in the house. It was a house call. We was in there, and Miss Cumby had called me, and she said, I think we need to have a pastor come in and speak with your family. Do you have one? I said, no, man, we're not real religious kind of family. She goes, I will take care of it. I said, thank you. So I go to this house, and I'm sitting there talking to this guy, and on the counter is a note, High Point Hospital, with a room number, and I looked down, and I said, who are you? And he said, I'm Mr. Barnes, I'm our pastor. I said, are you going to that room number? He said, yes. Miss Cumby called and said I needed to go visit this lady and their family because she's going to pass it very soon. And so that was the first sign that I felt that God was reaching out to me at that time. And the second one was he had told me he wanted to do my mom's funeral if he could, but his brother was passing away with cancer. And so he had to fly out, I think it was Wisconsin at the time. Mom passed away while he was gone, but he took the time, he done his brother's funeral, turned around and came back the next day, flew in and done my mom's funeral. So I think God was touching, I'm like Jason, I'm not believe completely, but that's out there, I believe.
All right. Thank you very much, Tim.
Yeah. You see? It
Like
comes in all forms.
Tender mercies or God winks. Or
You didn't understand anything you just said. I know that.
Well, yeah.
Jason's
I'm
thinking with
still
the imagery. Right?
Yeah.
What just happened?
You lost him at mom.
Yeah, we said mom. Like, wait, my mom?
Yeah.
No, his
No,
mom.
what?
Whose
No.
mom is it?
Who's?
And then my wife's trying to say something, some sign of God too. I don't
What'd she say?
see. This is where to me it's a stretch, but maybe not for each of the. She said Everly's due date was the same day I had a miscarriage. That's like a sign from God.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
wow. Yeah.
See? Yes.
Yeah.
I think thing's a tender mercy
Yep.
where it says, hey, I got you.
Oh, that was the other one I've heard. A tender mercy. I've never
God
heard that
winks
before.
is the more something you'd see on Threads.
Wait,
No, it's
what?
more modern. More modern.
God
A God
wink is the same as the what? A tender mercy?
mercies. Yeah,
Okay.
I think tender mercy is an older phrase.
Okay.
I think God winks is like it sounds cooler.
I just always called it a sign.
Or sign. That's
Yeah.
a real old one.
Show
me a sign.
Just a sign.
Ben,
Right.
Ben, you said you've had a kind of experience where you couldn't explain it from up above.
That's right. It was really my dad. He was trying to propose to my mom, or wanted to propose to my mom. Didn't know if he was the right guy, I guess, or if he'd have problems in the marriage and whatnot. And he was a believer at the time, and he was driving up and down a beach, and he said that he was just praying up to God, and God actually spoke to him and said, there's not going to be any problem that the two of you will ever have that the three of us can't handle.
Oh wow!
Wow.
And so
Yeah.
then he proposed.
He did after that, yeah, and they've been happily married ever since. I got married in 1980.
Wow,
That's a beautiful moment.
that's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Ben, thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
I have another good one for you guys.
What?
You don't mind?
Sure.
Yeah, so my grandpa, when he passed away, I went and visited him. He had like dementia, all that stuff, and so he was like in and out of consciousness talking to him. And my brother at the time was in the Marines, and he was in the Middle East deployed. And so I was still in school at the time, and it was like Thanksgiving break. I saw him, so I came back to school, and we had a house party when I got back. And so, brother's in the Middle East. He calls me like late during like the middle of the party. And so I go outside on the back deck, and he asked me, we called him Papa. He's like, how was Papa? And I kind of gave him the update. I'm like, yeah, he's probably going to pass any day now. And just kind of gave him the lowdown. And so my grandpa, he lived in Pilot Mountain, and he was notorious for like, he would always go out to the bluegrass, any like live music he would be at, and he would always dance, and he would do the twist. I don't know if you guys know the twist. It's kind of where you just stick your butt out a little bit and just twist it back and forth, like an OG twerking. But he would always like he was like known for Freddie, Fast Freddie, was what they called him. He would be known for the twist. So he'd always be doing the twist, right?
Uh-huh.
And so I, talked to my brother outside. I come back in, and one of my friends, he's like, "Yo, Troy, plug your phone up. Start playing some music." So I plug my phone up to the aux cord, and it's 12:09, right? And so I start playing the music, and this new kid. So I was in a fraternity at the time. He was a pledge. He comes up to me when I start playing the music, and he's like, "Troy, what you got?" And he starts doing the twist in front of me. So I started doing it, and I kid you not, the entire party started doing the twist. The entire party.
Oh,
Everyone in the
man.
house started doing the twist.
Yeah.
And then I woke up the next morning, and my mom's like, "I don't let you know that your grandpa passed at 12:09 last night."
Oh,
And
my.
the entire party was doing the twist.
That's
and I was
amazing.
Like, I was
Wow.
like, that's it. Like that. Like he was there dancing with us. So
Yep.
that was
I
a really
love it.
cool experience. Yeah.
that's amazing.
That's a good one. Good job. You
Jason-
should have started with that one.
Yeah. I should have.
He's still learning.
That would have really kicked us off in a great way, Squid.
That's amazing. So, Jason, what do we got to do to get you in them waters?
In what waters?
The baptismal waters.
Mhm.
Nothing.
I just think
Don't do anything?
you haven't found it yet. I don't
On
think you
what?
found, if you are really going down the path of trying to find your answers, I don't think that you've found your path yet.
No,
I think
don't
it
have
doesn't-
I don't have the answer.
But it doesn't have to just be Christianity. It doesn't. I mean, I think there's so many different avenues for you to explore. You just haven't found it yet.
Yeah, I don't have. Like I
Yeah.
said, when I go to the church
Mm-hmm.
sometimes
Yeah.
with my wife,
To the
the
church.
message is great.
Uh-huh.
The religious part, I go back and forth in my head the whole time. Even with this, I still don't. It doesn't. To me, it's like, okay, yeah, there's evidence that there's a higher power with these photo things, but I still don't think we got it right. But
Well, if you want to see the photos of somebody that Jason knows of different experiences over some different years, even with different photographers, is Beam of Light.
except for one photo,
I'm working on it.
she's asking.
Okay. Well,
It's
would have been
not an
nice to know
FCC
before.
It's not an
Didn't
FCC
know until-
violation, Jason.
I know,
It'll be all
but
right.
it's still personal.
No, we'll get it down just for,
We're just on the air right
mean,
now.
yeah. And we know you don't know how to work social media, so we'll make sure Jason would end up posting it more. That's just the one photo. It's like
I
everywhere.
just don't have access. All of a sudden.
That is true. But yeah, check out the photos. Seriously, though, they're very fascinating. All these different beams of light when this particular lady was talking, wanting a sign from her father who had passed on. And the photos really speak for themselves, so check those out. Except for the one. Ignore the
Except for
one.
the one, to pretend like you don't see the
Pretend
one.
it's
You know
not
what you
there.
could do? Maybe you could just black out the face, blurry the face or something, and still have the photo up there.
Okay, now we're really getting into territory. I'm going to have to really focus.
Yeah.
Okay? I'm going to really have to focus.
You got to get the Photoshop
Yeah,
out now.
you're right.